let's do a quick review of the distance formula and the midpoint formula. To find the distance between these 2 points. Now, there's 2 ways we can do this. The first way is to realize that this line here can make the hypotenuse of a right triangle, where the X leg, the horizontal leg, is 4 units long, and the vertical leg is 3 units long. So we could say D squared equals 3 squared plus 4 squared. So D would be the square root of 9 plus 16, square root of 25, or 5. And we don't say plus or minus because we're talking about a distance, so it can't be negative. The other way that you could find the distance is to use the distance formula. The distance formula is the square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So we'll say 4 minus 0 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. So this gives us 4 squared plus 3 squared, or the square root of 16 plus 9. The same thing we had above. So you can kind of see here, this is a proof by example of the fact that the distance formula comes from the Pythagorean theorem. So here is your distance formula, and here's the explanation. And for example 2, we're just going to use the distance formula to find the distance between these 2 points. So square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. So we've got negative 2 minus, or negative 1 minus 2, that's negative 3 squared. And negative 3 minus 3, that's negative 6 squared. Square root of 3 squared is 9. 6 squared is 36. So we've got the square root of 45. Now, because we're dealing with radicals here, we don't want to leave that as the square root of 45. We need to simplify it if we can. We know that the square root of 45 is equal to the square root of 9 times 5. And 9 is a perfect square. Square root of 9 is 3. So the square root of 45 is equivalent to 3 square root of 5, and that will be our answer. The midpoint formula, here it is written out, but here's what I say. Average the x's, average the y's. It's that simple. So to find the midpoint here, we're going to average the x's, negative 4 plus 4 divided by 2. Average the y's, 4 plus 2 divided by 2. And this is a point. This is the point in between those 2 points. Okay? So negative 4 plus 4 is 0. 4 plus 2 is 6. And so that gives us the point 0. Oh, that's right. It's just different from my problem on my paper. So the point is 0, 3. Let's see. Do I have this graphed? I do. So there's the 2 points, and there's the point in the middle. Middle means average. That's why we average the x's, average the y's, and we do get a point, so make sure you write that in point form.